That's Sky Talk, back with another match preview. It's going to be at the Wesley against Havant Waterlooville. And I can't stress this fact enough, it's 1pm kickoff. We only realised this on like Wednesday or Thursday that it was a 1pm kickoff. So, like I say, make sure you're there ready to watch it at 1pm. It's a good opportunity for some players that aren't getting much game time at the minute to get game time. The likes of Pilling, Knowles, players like that, Wolf. So it'd be interesting to see if they do get game time. And, me and Tom hope they do. So I'll hand over to Tom now.
Stats for the 1pm kickoff then this Saturday. So Havant Waterlooville currently sit in 9th place in the Vanarama National League South. It appears they want the season ended, even though they are doing very well. They sit just outside the playoff spots with 3 games in hand over most of the teams above them. They're doing really, really well. They've also scored 24 in those 12, so they're averaging 2 a game. They're just having a really good season, and they could easily push for the top. So you've got to assume it's just money that's wanting them to stop the season. That may change. They may want to continue. We'll have to see what happens with grants and funding, etc. So they're having a good season. Notts as well. We're having a decent season, aren't we? We're plodding along quite nicely. So it's 2 teams that should be confident. Havant Waterlooville, though, haven't played very much football over the past month. Only a few games, a handful of games, and yeah, I know Notts have had a few postponements, but at least we've played a few more than them. I think that'll work in Notts' favour in the game. To get to this stage then, Notts have only played 2 games. We beat Morpeth 3-0 and we beat Stockport 2-1 away in what was a very, very good game. And it really showed that we're taking a turn and we're putting some great performances. That's the second time we're beating Stockport away and at home this season. The last round, Havant Waterlooville got a walkover against Altrincham. I believe that was COVID related, so they got straight through. Would have been interesting to see if they would have beaten Altrincham, team from the league above, but that's something we'll never know. And they've also beaten Braintree, Brackley and Bath. In the Bath game was actually in a qualifying round, so they've had to go all the way back to qualifying rounds to actually reach the stage they are at, so fair play to them. Now, the last meeting the 2 sides had was in 2007. Notts fans will not forget it. Havant Waterlooville fans won't forget it. It was for the right to play Swansea, and Notts lost 1-0 at home to Havant Waterlooville. They then went on to beat Swansea and played that famous game against Liverpool where they scored 2 first half goals, so their fans will remember that fondly. Notts fans will not remember that very fondly at all. So that's the last meeting we had between the 2 sides, and actually one that gets talked about quite a lot, probably with both fan bases. So interesting one there. 3 players to watch out for then. I think whatever combination Notts go for, whether it's Wootton, Knowles, Rodriguez, Enzio, Effiong, Sam, I don't think they can cope with us, so I think they're going to have to try and outscore Notts in this game. So for the first time in a long time, the 3 players to watch I've gone for are actually attacking players. So first of all, I've gone with Tommy Wright, easy choice. Their top scorer. He had a long spell out in the past few years with injury, and he's brought himself back and he's scored a fair few goals this season. He's obviously going to be dangerous, and again, playing aside from the league above, and with it being Notts County, they're going to want to get goals and they're going to want to prove a point and maybe put themselves in the shop window for future reference for teams. So he's definitely a player to watch. Next one, another attacking player, as all 3 are, Danny Kedwell. Now, he's a name that fans of low league football, so you'll know a lot about him. 37 years old. He's not played massive amounts of football this season, minutes-wise, but, the 4 seasons previous to this, he's hit double figures in every single season. It might actually even be 5 seasons running he's hit double figures in non-league, mostly with Ebbsfleet, but he's a goal scorer, and again, I think when you play these experienced strikers, they know how to handle the defenders and they can sort of control the game, and they can be quite tricky to outplay. And the final player actually got experience in the Football League and Scotland is Rory Deacon. So he's been at Stevenage, Crawley, Dundee, Sutton, and he's just a tricky player, isn't he? He's just someone we've got to watch out for. I mean, if any of those front 3 do play, I know some of them haven't necessarily had the minutes, but if they do play, it's going to be one where we just have to be wary of them, as we do. We just have to make sure that they don't get the opportunities because they're experienced, they're decent at this level, so they're the 3 players to watch out for, and the stats going into tomorrow's FA Trophy game.
Team news now then. We've got Cal Roberts and Damien McCrory that, they're still under injury. They're not quite back in training. They're not ready to get into football, which is getting frustrating because it feels like it's been forever since we've seen Kyle Roberts and McCrory play for Notts. But you know, hopefully they're back soon and we see them again firing away, especially Kyle Roberts getting a few goals and assists. But without further ado, I will go on to the starting 11 that me and Tom have picked. A few changes obviously in there because it is an FA Trophy game. So in goal, we've gone for Luke Pilling. I think he's been good in the games he has played, and obviously it gives Slocum that rest and Pilling a chance to show what he can do, you know, because he's not really had many opportunities really. Slocum's not been injured or anything like that, so be interested to see how he fares. Right back, Kelly Evans. I don't think you can really rest Kelly Evans. He wants to play every game no matter what competition it may be in. Centre backs, we've gone for Lacey and Turner. I think it's a good chance for Turner to get his match fitness back up. He's been out for a few games now. Obviously, he had that red card. So, yeah, good opportunity for them, especially Turner, to just build a bit of momentum and keep that 90 minutes ticking over. And left back, we've gone for Barnett. He's the new signing. It's a fantastic opportunity, I think, for him to come straight into the squad and get some game time, get some minutes into him, you know, see what it's like to play again in a competitive game with the squad that we have. So, yeah, that's the team. The back four, sorry. We're going for like a 4-2-2. So, sitting in front of the defence. Gone for Reeves and Matty Wolf. I think Wolf deserves some game time now, and I think it will have been promised that Wolf's going to get some game time, so it's perfect. Another perfect opportunity for a player to be getting that game time. So, yeah, I think that is the two, and the two sort of attacking wingers, if you like. Gone for Enzio and Miller. So, see Miller in that is preferred position, which will be interesting because he was fantastic, I thought, and Tom did as well, our left back. So, up top, we have gone for Jimmy Knowles and Eli Sam. I feel like if they can play well off each other, they'll do the business and they'll get a few goals. Eli Sam can always seem to pick a shot from anything, can't he? And a powerful one at that. And Knowles, I say it every preview when I talk about him, he always nicks a goal. I think Notts are going to win this game for my prediction. I think we're going to keep a clean sheet. We've been doing well defensively all season, so I can't see why we won't carry that in the competition that we're in. I'm going for a 2-0. I'm going for Knowles to get one and Miller to get one because he's further up the pitch and he's in his preferred position. So I will pass over to Tom now for his prediction.
So then my prediction, I can just see a Notts win. I can't see anything else. The lack of games for Havant Waterlooville. Yes, it's a game that the players will get themselves up for, but if they want the season finish, it's just another distraction. Notts want it to carry on. Notts are just going to continue. I'm going to go for a 2-0 Notts, I think. Then Young will get one, and possibly Knowles, when he plays, he usually gets a goal, doesn't he? I think it'll be pretty routine at the end of the day. I just think Notts need to get to the next round. I mean, whether this competition will ever finish, we don't know. We haven't even played last year's final that Harrogate beat in the semis for. The votes are starting to come out today as to whether teams want it to stay. I've seen Notts put their name out there and wanting it to continue. I've seen Sutton, Altrincham, Hartlepool, they all want it to continue. But also, where does that leave us with an FA Trophy if some teams that aren't actually in the National League don't want it to continue? It's mind blowing. It's confusing for everyone involved. So just focus on the games that come, and I'm going for a 2-0 comfortable win.